From the News Channel 5 Network, Beacon Capital Management presents The Income Guys.
Welcome to The Income Guys. My name's Pete Benson. I'm here with John Maxon. We are the senior partners at Beacon Capital Management, and we have a great show planned for you again this week. We're going to talk about your fiscal or your financial house. Everybody has one. You're either building it intentionally or unintentionally, but you live in the financial house that you're building right now. And together, today, we're going to unpack this and kind of look at the foundation, the walls, the roof of your fiscal or financial house. And John, when you build a home, you start with a foundation.
Yeah, and really the foundation in any house that you build, you want that to be really secure. And the foundation of your financial house is always going to be your secure income. You know, retirement for the boomers' parents was pretty simple. They worked for a company for 30 or 40 years, and there were two pillars of income that they would have come in every month. And it really didn't matter, Pete, what was happening in the economy. They knew that their lifestyle was going to be supported through a pension check and through a healthy Social Security check. And they probably had paid their house off and had very little to no debt. Well, now with the effects of inflation, Social Security only accounts for about 20 to 30% in most cases of retirement folks' income needs. And in most cases, pensions have completely gone away, which means that 20% of most folks' income comes from secure sources, and for a lot of people, the other 80% is going to come from decisions they make with their finances. So when it comes to income, it's just vital that you have a secure foundation.
Well, it is. And you know, even the Bible, John, says that if you're going to build your home, build it on a solid rock. Build it on something secure, something that will stand any of the storms that come your way, the winds, everything. And your fiscal house or financial house is no different. You want to make sure that you're building your foundation on something that's reliable, sustainable, guaranteed, because income is the outcome, especially in retirement, but even in your working years. If you don't have income, it's hard to pay your bills. So many of the people that we work with are working towards, or really in what we call the red zone of retirement, maybe 5 to 10 years from retirement, and they want to know when they retire and go on what we call permanent unemployment, how in the world are they going to have income coming in, which may be for 1, 2, or even 3 decades. We know some people that have been retired over 30 years now, so how do they have reliable income coming in? Well, first, the cornerstone is your Social Security. And John, there are ways to maximize people's Social Security.
Yeah, and you know, Social Security is looked at many times as an entitlement program. It's really an asset. If you were getting $30,000 of income a year from Social Security, how much money would you have to have in an account producing 5% a year to bring you $30,000 worth of income? The reality is Social Security is not just 1 or 2 or 3 choices. There's actually dozens of different ways that you can take Social Security, and in many cases, families that don't sit down with a financial planner that is a full-service wealth manager that really wants to help them with Social Security choices are leaving a lot of dollars on the table that can really help them produce income in retirement. So always a cornerstone of this very secure foundation begins with Social Security. And then it moves on from there, Pete, to the second part. If you're fortunate enough to be in the minority of folks that has a pension, there are some significant choices that you can make with that as well.
Absolutely. And pensions are going away, but maybe you're one of the lucky ones that get a pension or will get one someday, or maybe you can take it as a lump sum, or you have different choices. You want to make sure that you make the right choice that's custom for your family. So we'd love the opportunity to help you and just educate you on what the best choice is for you with your pension. So if you have one, the number to call is 615-224-9794. We have people standing by. We'll set up a meeting. We'll actually sit down and kind of coach you as to what the best way to take your pension is. But let's say that you want $8,000 a month coming in retirement income, and you have $3,000 from Social Security. Maybe you're lucky enough to have $1,000 from a pension. You got 4. Well, you're $4,000 short, John. So how are you going to fill that income gap? Well, there's lots of different investments out there, and we work with them all to fill that income gap. But if people are looking for something that has a little bit more certainty or reliability to it, what do you suggest for people that are short and need income?
Well, you know, really the fear is not outliving your money. Is what we're really talking about. The fear is outliving your lifestyle, what you work 30 and 40 years of your life to be able to do, to retire and maintain a standard of living for what could be 25 or 30 years. So if you have this income gap, in addition to Social Security and pension choices, you can take a portion where it's suitable of your money and allocate it to what we call a family pension, where you can have additional guarantees on your income. Because here's what we know. We know that if the average investor would just take a portion of their money, if they have an income gap, if outside of Social Security and pension they still have a gap in terms of what they're going to need to support their lifestyle, they can typically take just a small portion of their money and allocate that to some guarantees where they have sustainable, dependable, and an inflation-adjusted income. Because you do want your income, Pete, to adjust for inflation with people living a lot longer today. That's vital as well. And really all three of these components are what go into a really solid foundation that gives people the peace of mind that they're looking for.
So again, we're talking about your financial house and the foundation of that house, and some of the pieces of that could be Social Security, it could be a pension, it could be annuities. We use other things to fill that income gap though too. There's other things to look at. You could look at dividend paying stocks, equity income mutual funds. You can look at bonds and coupon and some of the interest that they pay, maybe even a fixed annuity. There's lots of different choices of how to fill that gap, but what we do is we coach people as to what the best way to do. You may say, well, how do I know if I actually am a good candidate to work with you or look at this? Well, take us up on our financial roadmap review. There's no obligation, no cost at all, if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. So if you meet those qualifications, we want to do a series of reports for you to really help you indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. So these reports could be a fee report, help you really know what you're paying in fees. A tax analysis, help you understand if you're paying too much in taxes. What about a risk and stress test? A Social Security Maximizer report, even a custom lifetime income plan using proven strategies. What we want to do is take the guesswork out of your financial planning. What you need to do, pick up the phone right now. Call this number, 615-224-9794. That's 615-224-9794. Well, it's time for a short break. You're listening to The Income Guys with Pete Benson and John Maxon. Stick around, we'll be right back.